When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. Ah, Dad. Good to see you.
Is it? For so many others, it's a burden.
Well, for so many of you, you're a burden. So many others, you're not. But good thing is, you're inevitable.
You certainly are a strange one.
I'm the strangest.
To what end summon our deity?
Great question. So, I think it's time we waken humanity.
How will you awaken those who are on a dream? Where there are no dreams, there are no lives. To live is to dream. In absence, we simply exist.
So many words in so many ways, yet it is true. I think it's about time we bring a change to things, and I need your help with that.
So it is change which calls me forth. Change brings the end to many. What is this humanity you speak of? Do they not work hard and adhere to the beliefs, such as fairness and mercy?
Well, I'm not convinced in the rightness of such things as they are. And I'm not even fully in agreement with their ways of dying.
What's wrong with their dying? Seems to me more or less straightforward. From the moment they're born, I watch them. All that exists will meet its end. Even we are temporary.
So few of them are mocking and daring enough to stand a chance against death. Even in their own dying, they're not brave enough for it.
So their deaths are not tasteful enough for you.
Precisely. Dionysus, my good friend, I've come to indulge in your very own beauty.
How did you find me?
Well, of all the places you will meet, a Catholic church. Yeah.
You know, there was a time when I used to be a god of death.
To whom should such a title be awarded? Lo, a title made by man, just as temporary as they.
Well, I had my fair share of followers and worshippers. I was doing a very good job of the deal. There was one point in which I was learning to look for a way of killing people, a unique way of killing people that made sense to me. Ceres had war, Zeus had thunderbolts, Poseidon had seas and the oceans. So I wanted to find something that was unique for me, that way to kill people faster. So I worked myself in a frenzy, trying to find the special way. Instead, I ended up finding wine. And when I drank wine, I fell in love with power. I fell in love with excess, fell in love with the most primal aspects of lust. I fell so deeply in love with all these things that I ended up finding my true power, which is madness. And so I realized I couldn't be a god of death anymore, because I was much more than that.
Yes, it seems that we've been following you for quite some time. The end comes for everything. Even now, your mind employs us.
I don't think that I ever dropped the death aspect completely. And that's why I think you're the perfect candidate to help me in this. My only role in this is I embrace the night. I embrace ecstasy therein. And I know that even death needs a dance partner. I know you have a soft spot for these people.
While I'm not perfect, they constructed me this way. Death is not uniform. Mirroring their imperfections, I can bring them all to their end in a blink of an eye.
And yet you don't. I mean, it shows me that you feel as I feel about these people. That there's a special quality about them that makes them interesting again. All I want to do is give them that spark back. All I want to do is give them the reason why I fell in love with them in the first place. To give them that reason for living. Once I give that back to them, I think we'll have a much fairer chance at loving them again. And for them to love themselves even more.
Then I suppose we should help them. Out of boredom, if not for anything else.
I'm glad to hear you say that. You know, I got a great feeling about this. It's gonna be a fantastic adventure.
Ah, my good friends. Planning to abandon the very thing that makes us who we are. The very thing that brings us together. You see, if word spreads about you guys a soft spot for humanity, I fear you may be sought after by those who deem you too weak to wield it. And you know what I dread most about losing my beloved friends? The loss of my one true lover. And remember this, don't forget it. Power is taken, not given.
The world is mine. Gentlemen, this way. Dude, should have been cut off a long time ago.
Told myself that 5 years ago. On par.
Look at this, gentlemen. Isn't this lovely? Gents, this is Arafia.
You got a cheeky one, huh?
Says you. Let's move outside. As humanity loses its feeling, its absolute ecstasy, its absolute rightfulness, its indignation to be able to be free in thought and feeling, as humanity loses, I hope that we here today can honor its return, to honor a new age, a new renaissance, one in which the best of our sexual urges, the best of our feelings, the best of our passions, the best of society can ultimately thrive.
Fuck humanity.
Fuck you too. Ultimately, I think humanity is ready to embrace a new strength, to embrace a new power, to embrace a new courage. They are tired of being weak. They are tired of subsiding to fatigue and boredom.
Thought there's gonna be more booze.
There will be. And so tonight, we honor the return, the awakening of humanity, the new renaissance, with an honorary toast. Arafia, get the royal stash. Death, bless the ground. Damn it, this is not Monopoly.
Let's get this over.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, Lorenzo?
I'm pretty good, man. So wanted to take this first episode to take time to explain what it is that we're going to be talking about throughout the series, and also kind of future events and whatnot. But so far, pretty much going to be discussing a lot of different philosophical concepts that I've been able to kind of recognize in the previous past months, and also which led to me to conduct certain experimental sessions with participants, including my co-host here. I guess I'll start by talking about kind of the title in a bit. So the Dionysian Chronicles is pretty much in reference to the Greek god Dionysus. Most people mainly know him as the Greek god of wine and vegetation, but he is also the Greek god of ecstasy and madness. And in taking that as inspiration for a lot of the concepts of what we're trying to do here, which is trying to achieve what I would consider the highest level of focus, and achieving pretty much ability to have a feeling of invincibility and the feeling of power within oneself. That came to be the inspiration for pretty much a lot of what I've been able to talk about with other people, and for the show. I guess the first thing we'll kind of discuss is just kind of some of the processes in which a person goes through to achieve that, and be able to kind of break down, because it there are certain moments where I came across it, and certain times I kind of distrusted myself because it seemed way too simple.
Yeah.
That's kind of the funny thing. I would imagine a lot of if certain religious figures or people back in history were real and actually came to the same sort of thoughts, they probably had the same ideas themselves, or just like, is that really it? Like I could imagine that happening, for a lot of people. And so I guess we'll start breaking down some of the aspects. So when we talk about power, this will be kind of the central one of the central themes for the show. It's more so feeling power that can be applied to really anything. We may get political, but for the most part, my focus is on the individual's development, self-development, and it also will tie into how various religious institutions and various mythologies tended to come to some of the same feelings themselves in attempting to provide people a way to overcome obstacles and so forth. So when we initially start, we figure that power can be applied to pretty much anything. That could mean sports, that can mean music, that could mean art. It could be boxing, it could be martial arts, it could really be anything. But it's something that can be applicable to anything, in which you're in your initial stages, you'll start to feel sensations such as anxiety, nervousness, or fear. And it is once you learn to control and get past those sensations, and you start tapping into the secondary sensations, which are pretty much falling, but are not limited to things like varying degrees of euphoria, bodily lightness, heightened focus, and heightened reflexes. As soon as you tap into that, the only other goal from there is to see how deep those sensations really go. Because pretty much all of that is going to enable you to adopt a mentality that says, I can conquer the world, I am the greatest passion, I am the ultimate good, and things of that nature. And once you adopt that, things seem to be very effortless.